up? It's your boy T-Bear here in reaction. Today is Films Friday, and we're gonna check out we're gonna kick things off with the Dead Meat Kill Count of the week as well too. And this week is poll week as well too, and it was a big poll week as well too, as a lot of kill counts came out as well too. Well, some other ones when they included. So I did a 2-day play-in as well, and it was definitely would feature some newer kill counts that has been added as well as kill counts from the previous play-in poll, and some that survived getting sent to the gulag as well too. So anyway, we went down to 2 rounds as well too, to around the second round where two sets of kill count was neck and neck to the point of being tied up, and we got down to the list of pairing returning kill counts along with kill counts that made past the play-in poll as well as one safe in the gulag. And that being said, we're going to say the searches for this week were Menu paired with Nope, who was last poll week's runner-up, paired with Nope, who was safe from the main one safe from the loser poll. Evil Dead Rise with new entry When Evil Lurks. The Exorcist paired with a classic that was a new entry from Dusk to Dawn. The Mean One paired with another that was saved, the Barbarian, and Killer Clown Recount paired with another one that was saved, that was Hell House. With the results ended being the one of the kill counts pairing was the two classic Exorcist and for Dusk to Dawn, while the losing pair was the Mean One and Barbarian. It was such for Barbarian, as Barbarian was one of the ones I mentioned that was like neck and neck to a point of having a tie against Lisa Franklin. So I'm thinking maybe votes was probably downplay that because they didn't want to, they wanted Rita Franklin over. Most wanted actually Lisa Franklin, but the polls said otherwise, slightly. But either way, but luckily in the loser player poll, Barbarian was saved, sending the Mean One to the gulag, and I'm kind of somewhat relieved because I already dealt with Winnie Pooh, the Winnie Pooh Blood and Honey. I don't need another kitty thing turn horror. And as for the two battling kill counts, which are two cult classics that's being referenced in a lot of pop culture, which was The Exorcist and From Dusk to Dawn, today's kill count will be none other than the all-time classic From Dusk to Dawn. From Dusk to Dawn is definitely a cult classic, and thusly another game changer in the vampire trend of horror and action, along with action as well too, and referencing a lot of pop culture, including some music videos using as well too, whether it was a rock one or one I forgot which rock video. I'll be brought up on by James Denise about who used it, as well as a hip hop video by Timbaland and the Late Magoo for the video for the single Clash Strike remix. So anyway, was probably the intro for this video. But anyway, without further ado, here it is From Dusk to Dawn, one of the Quentin Tarantino hot classic as well part of his and have reference to his little thing he got as well too. Was sometime I'm a little ashamed to admit I have a little thing with it because of him, and well, at least he's not as bad as Dan Snyder with it. I mean, he is with adult women, hopefully, just that, like Dan Snyder. That's another story. Anyway, let's get it.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies and show you how they were made. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at From Dusk Till Dawn, released in 1996. Real quick, if you're the kind of person who likes to be surprised by movies, maybe go ahead and watch this thing right now without any further info. Rarely does a movie shift this hard, and it'd be a delight to see it on.
This is one of the one I actually watched numerous of times as well too. You're also gonna find out why I always reference this one legendary behind the scene of horror as Sex Machine, because of this movie. You'll see.
Spoiled. But even in this intro, I'm gonna have to talk about what happens, since after all, they included it in the marketing. Okay, still here? Great. From Dusk Till Dawn follows a pair of bank robbers who take a family hostage in order to escape to Mexico. Once there, the movie suddenly turns into a ballsy, bloody vampire flick with a whole lot of kills. From Dusk Till Dawn is a big indie film made by big indie filmmakers, directed by Robert Rodriguez and written by and co-starring Quentin Tarantino. After meeting at a film festival where both their debut features screened, Tarantino and Rodriguez became close friends, bonding over an intense interest in film. They'd
What was his first? What was his? His was
filmmakers, directed by Robert Rodriguez and written by and co-starring Quentin Tarantino. After meeting at a film festival,
Marachi. He pretty much did Desperado, which was the first Desperado.
Where both their debut features screened, Tarantino and Rodriguez became close friends, bonding over an intense interest in film.
So that explains a lot with this as well too. Why is a mixture of usual Tarantino work and as well as something over your Desperado. I get it now.
But again on 2007's Grindhouse, each directing one of the features of that double bill.
Wow.
Tarantino was at peak power here, coming off a writing Oscar win for Pulp Fiction. He's one of those filmmakers who's kind of a mini genre unto himself, like Wes Anderson or Tim Burton. There are recurring visuals and themes that make it recognizably Tarantino. Dusk is no different.
I told you what I tell you.
Different, and has plenty of direct references to his first two films, from specific shots to specific hamburgers to specific lines.
Okay, Ramblers, let's get rambling.
But Tarantino's only one half of this equation. This is a Robert Rodriguez film, and no one should misattribute his work. We don't need another Poltergeist on our hands, know what I mean? Rodriguez was, without question, the director of this film, although Tarantino did make suggestions from time to time.
Of course, I didn't want to do it, even if it worked, so that he couldn't later say, see, I directed the whole movie.
Rodriguez, who was only 26 at the start of filming, was very hands-on on set. Just like with his previous projects, he'd often take the camera and film shots himself, even if it meant rolling around on a skateboard dolly on his back. He also seemed inseparable from his guitar during the shoot. Dude looks like a filmmaking bard or something.
They having some fun.
The movie ends up being a mashup in terms of both filmmaker and genre that's largely enjoyable if you're a fan of Tarantino or Rodriguez. If you're not, it can be a little much. I mean, Tarantino plays a weird dude with a foot fetish. What a surprise. It's also a sometimes mean movie with nasty characters, and the same territory as The Devil's Rejects. Hell, the bad guys even harass an innocent family at a motel. But between its memorable performances and great creature effects, there is a lot to love here, and I do love it. Well, our heroes...
Hello?
Oh, here we go.
Guys, I'm in.
It's time. All right, team. Today's sponsor, Manscaped, has mastered the art of superior grooming and hygiene tools for your family jewels. By my estimate, they have 20 million balls in the mix. So we're gonna steal it.
Really?
The balls?
What? No, you can't steal balls. No, I meant the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra. Here, I'll walk you through this again.
Guys, I'm all ready.
First, there's the Crop Soother and Crop Preserver. The Crop Soother pampers delicate areas with essential moisture and soothing relief. Then the Preserver deodorant gets to work, keeping your funk at bay. Next, there's the Weed Whacker 2.0. It's designed to tackle nose and ear hairs with ease. Not to mention, it's waterproof, cordless, and rechargeable.
Got it.
Not so fast. Word is he keeps his prized Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra somewhere separate.
Makes sense.
I know. With a trimmer blade sporting wider round teeth to cut through hair with ease and a foil blade for a sleek finish, this is the Performance Package's crown jewel. Not to mention, it has a bigger LED light than previous models, USB-C charging, and it's waterproof. Writer Tim, you got that intel on where it is?
Yeah, seems like our Mark, alias the Pantsless, keeps his Lawnmower 5.0 guarded by a vicious beast.
Vicious beast? I don't see any. Oh.
Don't worry, I packed you supplies for just this situation.
Mission accomplished.
You don't need the Crack Dead Meat team to secure your own Performance Package 5.0 Ultra. You can care for your family jewels by going to manscaped.com and using promo code KILLCOUNT20. It'll get you 20% off, free shipping, and 2 free gifts. All right. Will our heroes be able to live till dawn, or will another one bite the dusk? Let's find out and get to the kills. The movie begins on a dusty road. Texas Ranger Earl McGraw stops at a liquor store to get a stiff drink or 12. He's gonna need them. A nearby bank robbery has left 8 people dead, and the perps will be passing through here on their way to the Mexican border. Earl heads to the bathroom, and we see those bank robbers are already here, complete with hostages. Easy to miss on a first-time watch, but you can actually see them when McGraw walks in. These are the Gecko brothers, smooth criminal Seth and whiny little bro Richie. Seth tells Pete the clerk to be cool, Petey Bunny, but Richie says he saw Pete signal the Ranger. It's a lie, though. This psychopathic creep just wants an excuse to kill. He proves it when McGraw returns, abruptly executing the Ranger by gunshot to the head. God, his twitching is so fucked up. Despite dying here, the character of Earl McGraw would be reprised by actor Michael Parks in Kill Bill Volume 1 and both segments of Grindhouse. A shootout ensues, during which Richie is shot in the hand and the 2 hostages escape. Before Pete can crawl away, Richie shoots out the booze behind him, and Seth improvises to start a fire and flambe the poor bastard. A dude in a burn suit jumps out and fires off some last shots, but Pete is killed when the brothers pop a cap in his ass, and no cap, pop his corn. I believe it's stunt coordinator Steve Davison doing this fire stunt. It's always fun to watch the people with fire extinguishers rush in, but it's not always fun to see the performers wear face masks of other actors. This shit's gonna haunt my dreams! Outside, Seth scolds Richie for making a mess of things.
Low profile. You understand the meaning of the word low profile?
As the building burns, the bickering brothers drive off into the sunset, stopping only momentarily for a freeze frame. Haha, gotcha there. When they get back into motion, a weird X-ray effect shows the bank teller they're keeping in the trunk. What is she, in the car's thought bubble? The Geckos get a room at the Tarantino Trunk Shop Motel. Ugh, this poor lady, Gloria. Already you're hoping she can find a way to survive these guys. And I mean, Seth, yeah, sure, maybe, but fucking Richie? I don't like her chances. Seth hopes to use Gloria to get them across the border to a criminal safe haven called the El Rey. He promises her that she'll survive as long as she follows their rules.
If you make a noise.
I must never saw it from the very beginning. That's why I always like catching them around the time they get to the family. I never catch it from the beginning, I guess.
Mr. 44 makes a noise.
The brothers' path of destruction is covered on the news, which has its own kill count going on. They're boosting their numbers with off-screen victims, though. And we don't do that kind of sensationalizing here at Dead Meat. Oh shit, were these 2 killing people in Springwood's jurisdiction? Because that's the Sax man himself, the late John Saxon, as an FBI agent. We've seen him in Black Christmas and A Nightmare on Elm Street, of course. And though his cameo here is quick, I'm still glad we got a big old face full of Sax. Seth has to go tend to some things and unwisely leaves their hostage with his paranoid little bro. Things immediately start to suck for her.
You wanna come over on the bed and watch TV with me?
Oh man, the news just told us that Richie is a sex offender. For the love of God, dude, leave this poor woman alone.
Take off your shoes.
Well, she's either dead or Tarantino's gonna cast her in his next movie. Unfortunately, it's the former. Seth returns from lunch and is disgusted to find that his brother has raped and murdered Gloria while he was away.
Richard, what's wrong with you?
So very much, dude. Richie says Gloria tried to run away, but Seth knows his brother isn't an honorable thief like he is.
This is...
Yeah, I definitely didn't watch this video because how did I know his little nutso stuff was worse than, oh my God. How did I knew he was a nurse, but I gotta say anyway, just cause y'all love me saying that. That was just fucked up.
Not me. I am a professional fucking thief. I don't kill people that I don't have to, and I don't fucking rape women.
Seth Gecko has killed many innocent people. He's not a good man. He only seems like one compared to his horrendous brother. Also helps that he's played by George Clooney, one of the most handsome men to ever live. Dude's like Cody Rhodes.
Hold on. For the Cody Rhodes, George Clooney had an era around this time between this, because he's been out before, but this was like his era. The Caesar cut haircut was everybody's trying to get a Caesar cut haircut like him. Everything. He was like the he was like the poster boy for this era for some reason. Like guys who look like this in the late 90s or late 90s look he was like the poster boy of the late 90s handsome gentleman, for real.
And Seth Gecko has killed many innocent people. He's not a good man. He only seems like one compared to his horrendous brother. Also helps that he's played by George Clooney, one of the most handsome men to ever live. Dude's like Cody Rhodes. He can be charming and professional, even with an awful neck tattoo. This was one of Clooney's first major movie roles after having gained fame as a TV actor on ER. Earlier film credits were low-budget fare like Return to Horror High and Return of the Killer Tomatoes. Lots of returning. It's weird to see him on a set before he was an A-list megastar, where he's fucking up his lines and getting frustrated.
Wow.
Fuck.
So this was like his he still was on his breakout run. He still was on this like come around this time. That's interesting. I thought it was like this and ER was like kind of like his breakout where everybody got to know him or anything as well too. Like I said, he had air for a minute too.
Tarantino suggested Clooney for the role because he was a fan of ER and even went on to direct an episode. Rodriguez gave Clooney lots of close-ups and action scenes because he wanted to make him a movie star, which, to his credit, is pretty much exactly what happened.
I wanted him to come and portray someone who sends people to the ER.
With Gloria dead, the brothers need a new hostage or two to get them across the border. Lucky for them, a whole RV of them just pulled up at the motel. This is the Fuller family, patriarch Jacob and his kids, Scott and Kate. Though it looks like they're on their way to a Jurassic Park convention, they're actually on vacation/soul-searching trip for Jacob. He's an ex-pastor fleeing his flock since his wife's recent death ushered in a crisis of faith.
Don't you believe in God anymore?
Not enough to be a pastor.
The room service at the motel comes courtesy of the Gecko brothers, who take the family at gunpoint while slinging slurs and insults. Oh God, a teenage girl in a swimsuit should not be in the same room as Richie. Seth gives them the same deal he gave Gloria. Get them to Mexico and they'll be home free. But of course, Richie's already having waking wet dreams about Kate.
Richie, would you do me a favor and eat my pussy for me, please?
No, you weirdo, she didn't actually say that. And stop staring at her feet! They head to Mexico, never to make it to their convention. Damn, Jacob was a shoo-in for the John Hammond cosplay contest.
Really?
During the drive, Jacob reveals his wife was killed in a car crash that left her slowly dying for 6 hours. Seth commiserates in his own special way.
Those acts of God really stick it in and break it off, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Jacob is played by Harvey Keitel, who played Mr. White and Wolf in Tarantino's Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction. His daughter Kate is played by a 23-year-old Juliette Lewis, who was last seen on the kill count in Mom. Lewis is one of my favorite actors and nabbed an Oscar nom as an 18-year-old in Cape Fear, which gave her some street cred over the more novice Clooney.
No matter what George Clooney says, he was intimidated when he found out he was going to work with me.
The two of them seem to have a nice friendship going on, and she looks like a fun person to have on set. I love this blooper of her doing that fantasy line.
Would you do me a favor and eat my pussy for me, please? I'm hamming it up. Let me just do one more. I'm just sweating. That fucking coffee is crazy.
Prior to this film, Lewis had just appeared in Natural Born Killers, another movie that started life as a Tarantino script. At the checkpoint, Jacob and Scott talk to border control while the brothers hide with Kate in the bathroom. A sibling spat nearly blows their cover, but Seth knocks out Richie and Kate covers for them by pretending to be on the pot. Okay, Officer Looky Lou, you can go now! The group gets into Mexico, making Seth very happy, again, in his own special way.
We're fucking in Mexico, you little piece of fucking shit!
He directs Jacob to their rendezvous, a wild and dirty desert oasis known as the Titty Twister. This biker bar has invested heavily in neon lights and pyrotechnics, as well as a hype man standing out front with the curious name of Chet Pussy. Wonder why he's called that.
We got white pussy, black pussy, Spanish pussy, yellow pussy.
Oh, okay, that makes sense now.
We got hot
So it was a double roll for Cheese. Nice.
pussy, cold pussy, we got wet pussy, we got smelly pussy.
I hope you got some gynos on hand too, 'cause some of that don't sound right. Chet is played by Cheech Marin, one half of the stoner comedy duo Cheech and Chong. Cheech also appeared as the border control guard earlier and would work with Rodriguez again in Spy Kids. Hopefully not playing Chet Pussy. Seth beats that pussy up to gain entry, with Richie doubling back to kick him while he's down, the little creep. Seth prefers his cheap shots in the form of liquor, so he gathers the group around a bottle of whiskey and gets the kids started young. This bar is a hell of a set and a hell of a censor job for my editors. My poor editors. The clientele includes tough customers like Frost, who'd rather stack up dominoes than shack up with dancers. Another biker, the aptly named Sex Machine, uses a phallic firearm to scare off K&B co-founder Greg Nicotero in a cameo. Sex Machine's an effects machine, since he's played by Gore Daddy Tom Savini, who would go on to act again for Tarantino and Rodriguez. It's fun to see these two effects artists together, since Savini helped Nicotero break into the business back on Romero's Day of the Dead.
This is Greg Nicotero. We've known each other for many, many years.
The revelry is interrupted by bartender Razor Charlie.
That's, for those know, that's why I keep, every time I hear about Tom Savini, I say Sex Machine, because this movie right here.
Played by Danny Trejo, a 4-time kill count veteran and Rodriguez regular. Charlie's here to hype up the night's main event.
The mistress of the macabre, the epitome of evil, kneel and worship at the feet of Santanico Pandemonium.
Santanico and her serpentine sidekick.
Yo, it's crazy that man's like damn near 80 down. You don't even think that.
Giving us one of the sexiest appearances ever put to celluloid. Savini's gonna have to fabricate himself a new jaw, since his just fell to the floor. Even that other dancer is getting hot watching her, and this is her job. The role of Santanico was originally written for Madonna, but was changed when Rodriguez wanted to incorporate more Latin.
Thank you, Lord. I got nothing but love for Madonna, but thank you for reconsidering and considering Selma Hayek, because whoo, Lord, she and them had era around the late 90s and like she still kind of had era on the cool.
More. Tarantino suggested Salma Hayek based on her dancing in Rodriguez's segment of the anthology film 4 Rooms. She had already worked a bunch in Mexico, but had just broken through in Hollywood the year prior in Rodriguez's Desperado. She was actually terrified of snakes and had to do extensive reptile research and use hypnosis to get comfortable dancing with one.
So I had to learn how to go on trance.
This is like newer. She's still looking as hell.
So that I could overcome my biggest fear. So I was on trance when I was doing that dance.
It was worth it. Her performance here is legendary. Kim Kardashian dressed up as the character just last Halloween. Does it add anything to the film? I mean, yeah, she's kind of hypnotizing everyone, but in any case, I can tell you exactly why it was written. Yeah, I'm sure Richie's the guy this chick would pick out of the crowd to do this to. God damn it, Quentin. The footsie fun times are cut short when Chet comes back inside to confront the brothers, backed by Razor Charlie and another bouncer named Big Emilio. In the ensuing fight, Charlie widens the hole in Richie's hand, but then stands there long enough for Richie to take the knife out and stab him with it? What the fuck? The brothers manage to fight their way out, making sure to do it in Tarantino style. You know, I love early Tarantino as much as the next millennial film bro, but I am glad his later films were a bit more varied. Now, you may have noticed there were no kill graphics during that fight. If you're wondering why, well, get a gander of the green blood on that knife. Turns out this club is run by undead vampires, motherfuckers! Goddamn shit-sucking vampires! And the best thing about them is that their first victim is Richie, when Santanico chomps into his neck. Seth manages to shoot her off, but not in time to save his brother, who bleeds out to death. He won't be missed. The bar staff bars the exits, and all hell breaks loose as they turn the crowd into a biker buffet.
Dinner is
served. Oh, 90s CG. How charming you are. A kill fest breaks out, and I can count 7 off the bat as throats are slit, throats are bit, heads are thrown, and corpses are snapped like the bass. Bet those notes are wet. I'm not sure how that saxophone works, but it looks cool. Frost and Sex Machine successfully fight off their assailants, while Jacob leaves his kids behind the bar and just kind of disappears for a while. What the fuck, dude? Chet finishes up a bar snack he was working on, and then turns his munchies towards the Fuller children.
You know what everybody says about me, huh? I suck.
Boo! Annoyed by his bad joke, Kate feeds him her cross necklace, causing him to get all gross and spurty. Oh shit, and spew out his eyeballs like a deadite? Fuck yeah! Frost manages to fight off 4 lady vampires and turns the table on them using a turntable. That's efficient. Bartender Charlie goes all Chewbacca on the bar patron. He should have let the vampire win. Then he notices Sex Machine nabbing himself a 6-ball with a pool stick, or rather, more like a pool steak. Wow, nice and tidy little pile he's got going there. Charlie sizes up the competition, but Sex Machine whips him into
Come here!
Shot into Charlie's
Let's do it!
He even calls the shot as the vampire's body melts down. 2 eyeballs, corner pockets. Santanico bats Seth around, pun intended, and gives him a dress-down dressing down.
You'll be my footstool.
Oh, sorry, lady. You've got the wrong gecko.
Yep.
He shoots the chandelier above her, which impales Santanico and turns her into a not-so-eternal. Wait, a metal chandelier counts as stakes? That doesn't seem right. Jacob returns from wherever he was, just in time to face off against Big Emilio, who's walking around breaking necks like nobody's business. At this point, I'll also go ahead and add the 9 dead and dying victims we see in the background here. Frost steps into the fight with a one-liner that wouldn't be as badass coming from a different actor.
Yo, Monkey Man. Anything you got to say to them? Say to me first.
Fred Williamson was known as the Hammer from his time playing football. He'd go on to be an icon of 70s blaxploitation movies, appearing in films like Black Caesar, That Man Bolt, and 3 the Hard Way. Frost goes full Dumb and Dumber dream sequence and rips out Big Emilio's heart, but the move doesn't kill the vampire until Sex Machine turns it into a shish kebab with a number 2 wooden stake. Our surviving quartet keeps kicking ass. Don't stop them now, they're having such a good time.
That's enough.
Hey, come on, I said don't stop them now. As the remaining dancer vampires square up with the surviving surviving adults, we see a wide shot that gives us 24 more background bodies to count. This excludes Frost tabletoppers, since we already counted them earlier. The boys make quick work of their foes with various headbutts, gunshots, and stakes through the heart. The vampire bodies burn up, and sure, it's weird CG, but at least they leave practical mush on the ground behind. All that's left is the house band, who decide to close their act early.
Fuck you, everybody. Good night.
And just blow the fuck up. I guess I'll count them as kills? Talk about an explosive finale. When the dust settles, the only people left standing are Frost, Sex Machine, Seth, and the Fullers. I'm assuming no one managed to get through the locked door, so I'll add 24 more victims to round out the 60 total club patrons that we saw in wide shots earlier. We didn't see them killed, but they were in there, and I'm guessing they're now just kind of all over the place. The survivors get a moment to breathe, and Seth gets a moment to mourn his younger brother.
I love you.
Why? Don't forget though, this is still a vampire movie.
I love you too, Seth.
Richie's back, but not for long, so don't worry, okay? After a brief hesitation to put his brother on the kill count a second time, we get to see Richie die again when Seth hammers a stake into his chest and gives him heartburn. This movie's effects extravaganza comes courtesy of the legendary K&B effects. The whole film actually originated with an idea from co-founder Robert Kurtzman. He wanted a movie that would promote K&B's work, so he wrote a 24-page treatment that was expanded on by Tarantino, who at the time was still an unknown video clerk. Tarantino wrote the script for only $1,500. In return, K&B did the effects on his first feature, Reservoir Dogs, for free. Kurtzman would struggle to make the film for almost a decade until Pulp Fiction's success got studios interested in the project. This crew's not in the clear yet, since a legion of vampire bats has descended on the titty twister. Even worse, the dead patrons have begun to turn as well. One legless vamp gets a hold of Kate before she's saved by a Deus Ex Machina.
What's your name, Julie?
Kate, what's yours?
Sex Machine. Pleased to meet you, Kate.
Me too.
Another trucker attacks the group, but he's promptly defrosted by a matchbox and a whole lot of fire. The gang sets out to stake the dead bar patrons before they have a chance to rise as vampires. Sex Machine quickly puts down 3 without any hesitation, but this level of violence is new for Kate. She only finds her resolution when a jump scare jumpstarts her into action. Man, I love Juliette Lewis's physical comedy here. Awesome work, great job! Sex Machine gets the short end of the stake though, since as he puts down one more vampire attacker, his arm is bitten in the process. He pulls the classic zombie movie hidey-ho and conceals the bite from the rest of the group. For all the on-screen mayhem, From Dusk Till Dawn was just as chaotic behind the scenes. The movie had a familial crew who had previously worked with Rodriguez or Tarantino, or both. At the same time, conditions were often rough, sometimes shooting in 120-degree weather or for long hours without breaks.
I think we worked 18 hours today.
And I'm still working on my computer, on time cards to make sure that we're getting 5 meal penalties plus $50 non-taxable cash.
Production did secure healthcare for everyone though, which people seemed pretty pumped about. Rodriguez's indie filmmaking habits of doing everything himself and employing non-union crew members didn't sit well with the labor union IATSE, especially due to the movie's budget of almost $20 million. IATSE actually posted up outside the set, an old Laurie's warehouse in East LA, to protest the production, forcing Rodriguez's crew to shoot all the interior scenes for the first 5 weeks. That ended up working in favor for the movie's effects.
We couldn't go outside until the strike was over, so we were in there 5 weeks, so we just kept going, what else can we come up with?
They were coming up with gags and kills on the spot, with Nicotero running back to the workshop to see what they could do. Judging from deleted scenes, they filmed way more than they could fit in the movie, including a Mortal Kombat fatality and one where a guy's decapitated by some thing-like tummy tea. There's an excellent feature-length documentary about this movie's chaotic production by filmmaker Sarah Kelly called Full Tilt Boogie. It's a cool look at the filmmaking process and features interviews with all sorts of crew members, from the truck drivers to the craft services guy, from the second AD to the assistants to Quentin Tarantino and George Clooney.
I hate going to Taco Bell for him.
I highly recommend it if you're interested in an in-depth look at what a movie set is like. Everyone regroups to talk vampire killing strategies, which includes fun genre references from genre veterans.
All you gotta do is put 2 sticks together. You got a cross.
Yeah, he's right. Peter Cushing does that all the time.
Seth thinks their greatest weapon will be a man of the cloth, so he tries to reactivate Jacob's holiness.
Are you a faithless preacher? Or are you a mean motherfucking servant of God?
I'm a mean servant
Only Harvey Keitel can make the censored version sound cooler.
Right.
Unbeknownst to everyone, Sex Machine is transforming in the background. It's another spot of great physical comedy, this time coming from Savini. By the time he's Looney Tunesing up Frost's shoulders, he's a full-blooded bloodsucker, fighting both Frost and Jacob. Aw, son of a bitch! Frost accidentally throws Sex Machine through a window, letting the bats inside as he completes his own transformation, which will put Frost's human form on the count. Seth leads Kate and Scott to a back room where one vampire narrowly gets to them before he blows its head off. Jacob takes refuge under the bar where he finds a baseball bat and a boomstick. He fashions them into an impromptu cross and starts a religion Reggie from Phantasm would be eager to join. He deploys the holy firepower against the unholy horde, which looks a little funky since they didn't have enough monster performers for the scene. They had to shoot the same dozen or so against blue screens and count them all together in post. In any case, the heaven fire works against them, so I'll count the 2 vampires he shoots down as he makes his way to the back room. Jacob reunites with his kids, but that bite on his arm means he's already dead. The group decides they'll make a last stand together
I'm back. That's what my mom called me. Anyway.
Before Jacob turns. And luckily, these vamps have been feasting on shady truckers.
I gotta miss what he said. I'm kind of miss what he said a little before I get the call.
In any case, the heaven fire works against them, so I'll count the 2 vampires he shoots down as he makes his way to the back room. Jacob reunites with his kids, but that bite on his arm means he's already dead. The group decides they'll make a last stand together before Jacob turns. And luckily, these vamps have been feasting on shady truckers and biker gangs for years. That gives us this genius plot device of a storage room chock full of contraband. They find all sorts of things during a kick-ass montage. Their Van Helsing arsenal includes a holy water super soaker and a jackhammer turned pneumatic stake. And sure, Kate, you can take a crossbow. Whatever kills these vampires before we get more silly shots like this one of them slowly walking down the hallway. Looking like the cave dwellers from The Descent here. Before they leave, Jacob makes his kids promise to kill him when he turns, even threatening to do it himself right now if they don't. Goddamn, Godman! In an earlier draft of the script, Jacob gave a speech that was eventually retooled into the Ezekiel monologue from Pulp Fiction. With the children sufficiently traumatized, the group wades into the vampire soup. In the ensuing brawl, the humans score 13 kills using crossbows, cross guns, a jackhammer heartjacker, and a couple of holy water hand grenades. Seth is attacked by a mean lean sex machine, but manages to steal his whip, using it to decapitate the bat biker. This machine must run on Energizer though, because it keeps going. Kate finishes him off with her crossbow. Oh, wait a minute, no she doesn't. There's still another stage to this mini boss fight, as Sex Machine's body pulls apart to reveal a nasty looking rat man. It almost takes a bite out of Seth, but he kicks it into a nearby fire, finally decommissioning Sex Machine. But I ain't putting this last version of him on the count, since it was more rodent than humanoid. That nasty Master Splinter was actually a $40,000 puppet with a remote-controlled head and cable-controlled limbs. I can't believe they really set it on fire for the death scene. Jacob fights with a fanged Frost, stabbing his shotgun straight through him and shooting 3 vampires straight through him. Hell yeah! Jacob gets ready to finish Frost off, but he melts away on his own in the face of such badassery. Sometimes you've just got to impress your foes to death. Jacob gets ready to do more damage, but suddenly the vampires stop attacking him. That's because Jacob's flip-flapped to the bad side, putting an end to his human life. Scott notices, but hesitates to shoot his father, allowing Jacob to take a bite out of his son. God man damn it! Scott hits Jacob with holy water, a little late, but it gets him nice and gnarly. I mean, dude's missing half his face now. Then Scott says a prayer.
I swear to God in Jesus Christ's name.
And blows his father away. Scott's not sticking around for long after his dad goes, since a gaggle of vampires start tucking into him. He begs for Kate to put him out of his misery, and his sister dutifully complies, shooting her brother and triggering a holy hell of an explosion that also takes a bunch of vampires onto the count with it. There's not much time to mourn, since Kate and Seth are running low on ammo and family members. Things are looking pretty dire, until Seth notices the monsters trying to Mission Impossible their way past beams of sunlight. Kate starts shooting a bunch of holes in the walls, since they've finally gone from dusk to dawn. They're aided by the arrival of some off-screen reinforcements, the shady customers who were meant to meet Seth and Richie in the first place. When the incoming sunlight hits a disco ball, the remaining vampires are blown apart in a series of fiery explosions. Seth and Kate narrowly escape the destruction in a stunt that was the first thing they filmed with the titty twister facade. Production designer Cecilia Montiel headed the team that built this thing out in Barstow amidst extreme temperatures. It took them a while to do it, and then it immediately caught fire with the first thing they filmed.
Shit.
No, we weren't supposed to burn the facade that, no.
Montiel and her team had to rebuild part of it and lean into the now scorched look.
We just didn't think there'd be this much fire.
Oh man, it must have been so frustrating to see them titties on fire like that. Outside, Seth punches their savior in the face. Carlos was his criminal contact at the El Rey and the man who sent him to the titty twister in the first place.
You never been here before?
No! Carlos is played by Cheech Marin, showing up again, although this third role wasn't actually meant for him. Carlos was originally played by Chip's actor Eric Estrada, but when he dropped out, Rodriguez just put Cheech in again. Seth is downright pissed about the Knights of...
So it's a triple role.
Ben, so Carlos makes it up to him with the currency of the criminal, which is just currency. Seth gives Kate some cash and she offers to tag along with him to the El Rey, but we all know that's a bad idea.
Maybe a bastard, but I'm not a fucking bastard.
Kate is left to drive home in her family's RV, and the movie ends with a wide shot that reveals the titty twister is the top floor of an ancient Aztec ruin. Talk about a titty twist. How many people were left with fangovers at Mexico's battiest bar? Let's find out and get to the numbers. Fuck you very much! I counted a whopping 145 kills in From Dusk Till Dawn. The victims consisted of 1 female human, 69 male humans, nice, 21 female vampires, 17 male vampires, and 37 Nosferatu-looking vampires of indeterminate gender.
The Golden Chainsaw is going to be very interesting because there's a lot of candidates, so I wonder who's going to get it.
That gives us this batshit 5-wedge pie chart, a 5 chart, and with a runtime of 108 minutes, that left us with a kill on average every 44.69 seconds. I'll give the Golden Chainsaw for coolest kill to Chet Pussy. I freaking love the effect of him melting and oozing all over the place. There are a lot of big gross kills in this movie, but none are as sweet as Pussy's. Dull Machete for lamest kill will honestly go to Richie. Dude's the biggest piece of shit in the movie, and he gets got from a single neck bite. And that's it. From Dusk Till Dawn was released in 1996 to mixed reviews and a disappointing box office run. It's since gained cult status and was followed by both a sequel and a prequel, as well as a TV series. Probably shouldn't hold your breath for me to cover them, but until next time, I'm James A. Janice. This has been the Kill Count. Thanks a lot for watching this Kill Count for From Dusk Till Dawn.
So yeah, that's crazy. I think it's crazy that another one you hear that's like really popular in a cult classic and heavily talked about was another box over bomb. You know what I mean? Because you in case you would not believe it, but Scarface was dubbed a box over bomb. But you know how popular that movie is. Anyway, this was cool. This was a little kill count already. I did see a body count from Japheth before, but to get the full detail of it was always love getting the full detail from James and with Dead Meat because he breaks it down for us as well too. So next week will be the cap off for Hannibal series, as I will check out Hannibal Beginnings, I think it's called, or something like that. Anyway, it's the Hannibal prequel pretty much. Other than that, then after that will possibly be the final 2 of the alternative kill counts, and then we're gonna do another. Then I will be capping off. Then soon later be capping off the classic horror with the one final bonus of it as well too, and then we'll be all back to another poll week. Was probably going to end up doing another play-in poll because I know a lot of kill counts going on could be coming in just for that, as well as kill count. I put aside that words in the gulag. They've been safe in the gulag, so there's that. Other than that, if you like my reaction, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's your boy T-Bear signing off. One love.